Welcome to our last episode.
Cameroon.
But that's only
Yeah.
for this season. We're gonna have
Exactly.
another season. So
Yeah.
More
subscribe.
seasons.
Yes, actually, it was a good opportunity to start with more interviews, and this is just the first step. So these interviews and episodes give us the confidence to continue. So thanks for that.
Yeah.
So,
Now we are down to
well, returning to our points. So, communication strategies in diversity and inclusion. We could learn many things for those people that we are interviewing, like Carmen and Sherry. So, do you want to highlight any points?
Yeah,
key
so
takeaways.
with the Sherry, I learned a lot of good things from her because she's Canadian and she has a big amount of experience about this teaching experience, and she's working in the diverse culture a long period of time. So she's mentioning that in every culture the concept of understanding is different. For example, in
Yeah,
Canada, like if you are in the class and close your eyes, that your teacher will misunderstood you, that maybe you are sleeping,
Or
you
not
are not
interested.
interested, so something like that. So she mentioned that before getting a mat, you should be asked to the student.
Actually, even if Sherry is not a Canadian, even
Yeah.
so, she has experience to work in different environments, like
Yeah.
as we mentioned in Mexico, Japan, Sweden, and those cultures give her an aware of what's happened. Also, working with immigrants and refugees, actually, she has more experience than us, definitely. But even us in our class, we could recognize different behaviors and different ways of communicate among us. Yeah, and I think that using these communication strategies is so useful. Using always that also the clarification, questioning, investigating, but also when you start working just in teams, you could use also the organization, planning, and all of them are related. So if we could just intertwine it, yeah. Sure. Well, every day we'll learn one word.
Yeah.
New word of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. For maybe for Carmen, since I saw the video that maybe if you're mad, just stay calm, and if you don't know the person, maybe don't make assumption, like the one that you said that she had a student who's closing his eyes, because that's usual in his background or in his culture. So for us to be able to include, or everyone to be included, don't make an assumption or any judgment. Okay, maybe ask, ask, investigate. Oh, why is he like this? Is he not interested?
You're
Or
right.
And actually, I think that is a good point when you mentioned that you have to ask and not make some assumptions. Do you remember the other time we met a Filipino girl? And she started, I don't want to assume that you are international students.
Yeah.
You are or not. And I think that is a good point to start, because she's using well their communication strategies.
Yeah.
She's not trying to assume different things.
Yeah.
And I think that these kind of little tips
Details.
or
Tips.
details give us this kind of awareness. So
Mm-hmm.
now I think that we are more conscious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it will help us to adapt to this kind of atmosphere because we are planning to live here, so we will work in the
Well,
different.
yes.
Yeah. So.
Yes, and even if we are not here for a long period,
Yeah.
or if we live here until we die,
Yeah.
yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
In other parts of the world, you also could find a huge diversity of people.
Yeah.
So having this kind of awareness, asking, not making assumptions, I think that is good, because it shows our respect from the others.
Others. Yeah.
Exactly. I know that you have different experience in not just in Philippines, but also in Singapore, because you
Singapore,
was
yeah.
working there. So how about your experiences?
And
Yeah.
actually, I just want to add, This one I remember earlier when I heard that what you mentioned, like the word adaptability. And
Yeah.
I remembered Carmen when we had the interview with Carmen. Right?
Mhm.
At first I thought that she's from
Venezuela.
Venezuela. So maybe, but anyway, in the environment of her work, like at first I doubt that maybe she's experiencing also like
Racism?
being not included. So
Excluded.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
excluded. But then
Yeah.
when we interviewed her, and then
Mhm.
so far, like all of her experience, she didn't feel any exclusivity. But
Yeah.
now I realize that maybe it's
Mhm.
because of the environment, or the working environment, or maybe we say the academic environment that you are in. So maybe it's, or definitely it's like the first things first is you know how to adapt
Yeah.
to the environment that you are in. So
Mhm.
yeah, and then so now that you're asking me, like, how was I before when I had my work in the Philippines and I work in Singapore, and now I'm here in Canada. So maybe I have this character. Maybe that's just for me. Like when I came to Singapore, and then I slowly learned how to use chopsticks. So I adapted to the way how they eat, using just the spoon and the chopstick, and then with their language. So yeah, maybe for me, in my personal experience, it's very useful, and it's very like a good thing that you have the good adaptability to your environment, so you won't feel
Mhm.
excluded. And yeah, so everything will turn out well. And even here, when I came here in Canada, eventually I get to learn, like, oh, how you doing? Oh yeah, I'm
Mhm.
good. Yeah, like have a good night. And then, yeah, you too. Like, there's
Have a
small
good
words.
weekend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and then maybe once you see each other after the weekend, oh, how was your weekend? Even if
Mhm.
you're not really interested, but you will
Yeah.
still ask questions. But
Mhm.
sometimes I'm really interested. Like, oh,
Yeah.
this weekend, so where did you went? Or something like
Mm-mm.
that. So yeah, so it's
Yeah.
the adaptability, I
Yeah,
guess.
Yeah.
sure. And I think that we learn different things related to adaptability
Mhm.
during our last two terms.
Mm-mm.
Wow,
Mhm.
it
Yeah.
has been 2 terms.
Yeah, two
Yeah.
terms. So,
Well,
well, I think that these kind of projects give us the opportunity to learn more,
Mhm.
Mm.
try to adapt more, and also be into the other part. So it's not just try to include all my culture in the new culture, but
Mhm.
also it's not only bring, it's also
Yeah,
receive.
yeah.
So
Adding.
try
Yeah.
to
Mm.
interactions, yeah.
Yeah.
So you learn something, and they
Mm-mm.
could learn something also
Yeah.
about your culture.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it's in two ways.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Imagine with all the
Yeah.
Srashtrika, and then
Mm.
with
Yeah,
all the
Strashaka, yeah.
Yeah.
okay, Buenos Dias, amiga, and then the
Yeah.
Adval, and then you learn also the
Ni
Magandang
Yeah,
Umaga,
hao,
Ni
ni
different
hao,
hao.
language.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I also remember Mel said that you don't need to leave or like just leave behind your
Yeah,
culture.
that's
What
Yeah.
you just
yeah.
need to do is
It's
to add,
adapt.
Yeah,
to
but do not
adapt,
forget.
just add
Yeah.
the other culture in your
Mhm.
own culture.
Mhm.
Don't forget your own
Yeah.
culture.
I think that maybe Mel is a good person that we want
Shout
to
out.
interview
Oh,
with.
Yeah.
or maybe
Mel.
we can
Yeah, on the
Yes, I
season
think.
two. On the
The
yeah, on
season
our
season
two.
two
season
we
2
will
Yeah.
maybe.
we
I
can
hope
have
so.
Mel or maybe
Well,
Juice.
Yeah, come and
Well,
Mel and
we're here
Juice.
in Well, ladies, we have too many things to do, but we don't have too much time.
Yeah,
So,
you're right.
thanks
It's
for
gonna be
this time, sharing different experience,
Mhm.
enjoying this time. Because
Mhm.
even if we have many things to do, we
Mhm.
find a way to complete it and to
Mhm.
enjoy it while we are doing
Doing
that.
it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
And
So
we're
it doesn't
hoping
feel
al-
like a task anymore because we're
Yeah,
enjoying it.
because we are
Mhm.
enjoying.
Yeah.
So
And
yes,
yes,
So,
I know it's okay. But
So-
also we're hoping that you guys have have also takeaways. You learn from our
yeah.
episodes.
Yeah.
So maybe we can catch you on our season 2.
So yeah,
Yeah.
leave that in the
Yeah.
comment
Yeah.
section.
okay, so we will share this with all of our classmates.
Mhm.
See you.
See
you.
you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for
Bye.
watching.
Camerut, Camerut.
Camerut, Camerut.